Sir Jim Ratcliffe reveals all in an interview he did last night where he speaks about buying Manchester United, what he would do if he was able to buy Man United, but he did say it's not for sale right now, the Glazers won't sell. Is there a chance the Glazers will sell? Is there a chance we get Sir Jim in? We're going to discuss this in today's video. So, Jim Ratcliffe has done an interview where he spoke about Manchester United buying United. He even touched on Chelsea, but we're only talking about the United stuff because it's a United channel. He spoke about buying United, how he had a meeting with Joe and Avram Glazer. He's met Joe and Avram Glazer. He's spoken about the chance of him buying United. What would he do if he brought Manchester United? Is he going to be able to buy Manchester United or not? Will he be able to buy Man United sometime or another? Are the Glazers going to sell? What's going on with the Jim Ratcliffe Manchester United situation, which we're going to dive into in today's video. Will Jim Ratcliffe be able to get United? What's he said? We're going to get into the main interview quotes just now. So make sure you smash that like button and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new, because I will be live at 6 PM with a live update show. And we will discuss this again, get your guys' opinions on this in my live show tonight. So it'll be very interactive. But look, I ain't going to lie guys, this ain't looking good. This is not looking good. We have those fraudulent ratty owners, the Glazers, still at United, and it looks like they still will be at United. We know that people want the club. We know that there was chances of them selling, but I always said in all the videos I said on the Glazers, Man United could potentially be for sale in the next 2 years. There's lots of reliable reports saying they could be. They are selling minor stakes, but I said we all know them Glazers, they do not want to sell, because why would they have brought Anthony and Casemiro when the pressure was on? But let's dive into what was said from the Ratcliffe interview. This is what Jim Ratcliffe said. These are direct quotes. I've gone and got the main quotes from the video, all the interesting things basically. And basically, Jim Ratcliffe said this: I'm a lifelong Man United fan, but Manchester United is owned by the Glazer family. I've met Joel and Avram Glazer and they're the nicest people and they don't want to sell it. We can't sit around hoping one day United will be available. So he's basically saying, look, he's met them, but they just don't want to sell the club and he can't sit around hoping it'd be available. He's a United fan, he wants the club, but he can't, then it's not for sale, which is true. It's not for sale, and it's the only way he can get United is if he puts in an outrageously high bid, which he probably can't afford. Only the Arabs can afford to get the club, because they won't sell. And it said this, an inside source said this, they won't sell unless they get a crazy high bid that they can't turn down, which would obviously have to come from someone of the Arabs. So that's the situation. Also, Joel and Avram are the nicest people. Jim, I know you don't want to be rude about them. I know you want to stay on their good page because you want to eventually buy the club from them and have a good relationship with them. How can you be a Man United fan and say Joel and Avram are the nicest people? How? They were ringleaders of the Super League. They've tried to destroy football. They've been trying to destroy Manchester United these last few years. You know what? They might be nice in person, but you know what? Then if you're a Man United fan, they're not nice, because they don't care about us fans. They shut us up. They are the reason this club has gotten so toxic. They are the reason we've not won a Premier League. They're the reason Liverpool were allowed to win a Premier League. Mate, Liverpool won one Premier League out of 30 in their golden era, though. But Man City have finished above us every single season since Sir Alex left. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Why they take money out of the club. The only club in the world that takes that amount of money in dividends. What, 30 million last year or something crazy? Jim, disappointing. But Jim Ratcliffe also said, if Man United had been for sale this summer, yes, I would have taken a chance and brought it, but the Glazer family don't want to sell. He said, look, if United was for sale, I would buy it, but the Glazer family won't sell it. And that is the problem. He wants it, people want it, but it's not for sale. And the only way you can get something that's not for sale is go in with a crazy hostile bid where it's like, we actually massively overpay. Yeah, he spoke about Man United, what he'd do if he got Man United. Jim Ratcliffe said if he would run Man United differently. And Jim Ratcliffe did say, might I run it differently or might I run it? I think the answer about performance of Manchester United is a simple one. The biggest correlation of success in football is money, without question. If you've got the highest revenues, you can afford the best players, you can play the best football. Manchester United is one of those. If those are one of the top 3 clubs, the 2 in Spain, obviously being Madrid and Barca, then United, they've all earned revenues of 800 million. So I think he's basically saying that the correlation between success on the pitch and revenue, which is ironic because the Glazers only managed to get the correlation of revenue, but they haven't got a correlation with success on the pitch, because, you know, you get the revenue in and then you employ imbeciles to go and get players in the transfer market like Ed Woodward and go and, no, let's go spend 40 million on Amad Diallo, let's not get Anthony for 40 million, then let's get him for 100 million. You know, we have owners and then they employ imbeciles in the transfer market because they're bankers and they're about saving money, but actually it's costing them more money because you spend more money to be shitter on the pitch. But he is right when he says that, Jim Ratcliffe. If you have the most money, you can be the best team. If you bring in the most money, you can spend the most money on players, and that can correlate to success on the pitch. And Jim said even if you're successful on the pitch, you bring in more money. If United went and won the treble this season, we'd bring in more money, a lot more money than we brought in last season, like, because people would show a lot more interest in us. So it's annoying because the Glazers don't realise if we're winning trophies and stuff, we'll bring in more money. And if they actually got someone good instead of Arnold and Murta and all of that in, a proper footballing person like they have at Brighton and Newcastle to scout, we'd spend less money on transfers, have more success on the pitch, and bring in more money overall, and they would save more money for spending less on transfers. But the Glazers don't want to give any kind of power up. It's about power. It's about power as well as money. They're power hungry. You've got to remember the Saudis were offered 30% of United for 700 million, but they said they couldn't have any power or control anything. They could just have a stake. The Glazers are obsessed with power. They do not want anyone else having power. They need their little puppets to work with. That's the problem. So we could bring in someone really good, but the Glazers do not want to give them power to actually change the club and actually spend the money that's needed to change the club, you know. So that's why we are absolutely stuck in shambles. And Jim Ratcliffe also said that what he would fix at Manchester United, and he said something is not working at United. They're not firing all cylinders. Since Sir Alex Ferguson stepped down, they haven't been the same. That would be my point on performance. And he didn't really go into how we would fix United, essentially, but I think he knows, and I think what he's trying to do, to be honest with Jim Ratcliffe, is stay on good pages with the Glazers, keep a good relationship with the Glazers, which would make it easier for him to buy United someday if they should sell, because there are reports that the Glazers will be willing in the next few years to let go of United. They are sort of coming to their end with it. I hope that's true, but you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. So my honest opinion on the Jim Ratcliffe situation is he knows that post Sir Alex things haven't been right. He knows from things he said in the past that we need to get brand new board in. I've always said with the Glazer ownership that they're probably not going to give Ten Hag money in January. They're not going to give Ten Hag everything he needs to be successful, but I think long term Ten Hag will be successful. It will just take a little bit slower than Man City's rebuild. But what I will say with the Glazers is we can still succeed under Glazer ownership if they brought in a brilliant board of ambitious people, the people that now work at Brighton, now at Newcastle, you know, your Paul Mitchells, your Ralph Rennicks, and if they gave them power and money and freedom to spend, United could go back to the top. But unfortunately, we can't ever win with the Glazers because they're never going to give us the money and power that we need lower down in the club to make changes. They're going to leave Old Trafford to rot. Look at the state of Old Trafford, it's a fucking mess. Look at the facilities at Carrington, it's behind the Premier League. Every year that goes by, we're falling further and further behind Premier League sides, where Bournemouth and Brighton and these small clubs are doing things that United haven't done with their club, modernising it. And, you know, you've got to move with the pace of football. You've got to modernise things, the Glazers. You know, you've got Ten Hag in a modern manager, but you've got to modernise your approach in the transfer market. And it seems like we're only modernising our approach in the transfer market because Ten Hag is literally screaming at them saying, no, you're buying players I want. You're not buying players for the sake of it. No, you're not giving out contracts, to increase their value because they've got a year left. They have to earn a contract. Ten Hag's making these slow changes, and hopefully with someone like Ten Hag, it'll be a learning curve for them and they'll learn on the job. Ideally, you get the right people in, but it's going to be a learning curve on the job for what we have. But look, there's still hope of the Glazers going, of course. I think right now it would be the Arabs putting a crazy bid. It's our best chance. There's potential the Glazers could sell, but we've just got to keep the protests up, keep the pressure on the Glazers, and that is what would drive the Glazers family into selling. If we can just keep these protests up, keep the pressure on them, because, you know, it's not for sale right now, but can we make it for sale? There's buyers there, but can we make it for sale as a fan base? I don't know. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this interview. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.